Hey guys, hope you're having an awesome Friday, not long till Christmas. Jumping in with today's video, and this was a topic that I spoke about the other day in my Inner Circle Mastermind group with my girls, simply because it can be one of those things that we need to become really conscious of over the silly season, when we tend to overindulge or overeat or overdrink or not sleep much or kind of like really burn the candle on both ends, and that's completely okay if that's what you want and that's what you're wanting to create. Hey Chris, great to have you on. Hey Denise, hey Erica, lovely to see you guys on here. So super important. Hey Deanna, lovely to have you on too, darling. Super important over this time period is just to become really conscious of what your actual overall outcomes are. Get clear on the vision that you want to create for yourself over the Christmas period, whether that is experiencing greater love or greater connection with people, whether it's experiencing a sense of happiness within yourself, or whether it's just feeling energetic or feeling great within you. And of course, as you know, we lead into this time with lots of Christmas parties, perhaps work Christmas parties, all of those things. Hey Simone, lovely to have you on. Hey Lisa, and hey Sandra, lovely to have you guys on. Really important, obviously, just to become really conscious and to get clear on your outcome, because a lot of the time, if we're not clear on that, we will tend to turn up at different events or different situations or circumstances and be quite mindless and quite unconscious about either what it is that we're eating or what it is that we're drinking. Now, knowing full well that this time of year can bring up a lot of stuff for people as well. This could be quite an emotional time for you, either with your family or if you've had loved ones that have passed. So I'm super mindful. There's lots of stuff that plays out for people. Perhaps you're quite triggered by your family, so going back into some of those family circumstances can be really difficult or challenging for you. And so a lot of unconscious eating or drinking can actually play out here as a way of numbing our feelings or as a way of kind of dulling things down. Now, in the spiritual world, a lot of people say, yep, you know you've done a lot of work on yourself when you can be with your family and be completely yourself and at peace. And so it's always a kind of an interesting thing, you know, our birth family can often come in to learn some of the greatest lessons that we're here to learn as a soul. But really important, obviously. Hey Jan, hey Rod, hey Joe, it's lovely to have you on here, darling. So really important just to become really conscious and really mindful. What's my outcome? And perhaps you want to create a different outcome for each of the events that you're actually attending. Now, a couple of really just basic things, guys, like hydration. Just make sure that you're going into a situation or circumstance fully hydrated. If you are properly hydrated, you're going to not confuse hunger signals with thirst signals, which is a big thing. And two, it's going to obviously help you if you are drinking alcohol. Another thing that can be really helpful if you do like to have a drink, and again, like I'm a non-drinker myself, but you know, I'm certainly not in judgment. I did drink for a lot of years. Having vitamin B before you actually drink can actually be a way of avoiding a hangover, or certainly experiencing less of a hangover. Of course, drinking in moderation also does that, as does hydrating yourself adequately during the evening. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, a lot of the things that I'm sharing, you'll probably be fully aware of and everything else. It's just more about being really mindful of these things or being fully conscious of these things. I know for myself, like I used to really love like a cheese platter or a dip platter and things like that. And quite often would turn up to an event ravenously hungry and, you know, be consuming a lot of those foods, which ultimately weren't really good for me. I have extreme intolerances to dairy and wheat and a few other things that I used to eat a lot of, obviously on those platters, but also would overconsume as well, simply because it was sitting in front of me. I'd be chatting away and I would just be eating or consuming mindlessly. So grab just a small plate and put what you want on the plate. That way you're becoming much more conscious of how much you're eating, or what foods that you're actually intending to eat. Now, again, there's no right or wrong with any of this. I really want to take away the judgment around good food, bad food, all of that. There's food that makes you feel great and food that doesn't doesn't really make you feel so great, and it's just becoming really conscious of how do I actually want to feel the next day, or how do I want to feel after this particular event. What is my ultimate outcome? Whether it's just to connect, socialize, have a good time. Again, if you're overthinking or over analyzing with food, you're not going to be present, and you're not going to be really enjoying yourself either. So it's kind of like finding this balance in between of just going, wow, yeah, just going to go into this, going to have a great time. If you choose to eat the dessert, if you choose to drink, do all of those things and really enjoy it. Don't beat yourself up for it. That's one of the biggest challenges, because like even if we are eating chocolate, or we're eating a really yummy dessert, or you're having something that you really, really enjoy, often we feel so guilty, or we feel bad for doing that because we don't want to eat the bad food. So we're judging ourselves in that, and therefore not actually getting to actually just really enjoy it for what it actually is. Now, the other thing around this too, sometimes we can be like, oh, I've been really good all day, or oh, I'm rewarding myself, or stuff it, like just whatever. I've had a hard day, or I've had a bad day. So often we can use food as a reward. So again, become really conscious around that. A lot of us were trained that food is a reward. Come on, I'll get you an ice cream, or you've been a good girl, or you've done really well on your report card, so I'll go get you the lolly, or I'll go get you. So we're trained that food is a reward. Food is not a reward, guys. Food is fuel to really enhance the temple of your body. If you owned a sports car and you put water in it, or you put like soft drink in it, clearly the car's not going to run well. It runs best, if it's a sports car, it runs best on high performance fuel. Your body is no different, guys. So it's just, again, just bringing in the conscious awareness around it, and really understanding why, if you are choosing to eat like a lot of those foods, like I said, coming back to the conscious understanding around emotional eating, and is that what's kind of playing out for you on some level, and perhaps what could you do ahead of the game, so ahead of the event, or ahead of Christmas Day, or ahead of New Year's, or like any of those times where you feel like you could be going into a situation where you might be triggered by a family member, or you might have kind of stuff going on where you could feel even more emotionally resilient, or more emotionally stable within yourself ahead of going into that. It will also help to stay on track with your health, and not doing emotional eating, or kind of doing those things to numb feelings as well. So really, really important to remember there. Hey Danielle, lovely to have you on. Hey Kylie, and hey Kelly, lovely to have you guys on. So just taking care of those things, proper hydration, clearly. Vitamin B is great, obviously, for navigating a hangover, reducing the impact of drinking. And the reason why vitamin B works so well is it opens up the detoxification pathways of the liver. A lot of people wake between 1 and 3 a.m. when they've been drinking, or eating a lot of fatty foods, or foods that just don't work very well for them, because that is the time in like our 24-hour cycle that the body's main amount of energy is actually focused on the liver organ, to be able to rejuvenate, regenerate, and help the liver. And so often, like, the liver's trying to metabolize, or obviously it works like a garbage disposal unit within the body. So everything you're consuming, everything you put on your skin and take into your body, has to be processed through the liver. It's what cleanses the blood. It's what keeps us alive. We cannot survive without a liver. So doing anything that we can to assist the liver with that particular overload will help you feel better. And again, remembering that emotional eating can play out, so be aware of your emotions, and not using food or alcohol to numb is really, really important, obviously. So just becoming really conscious of what choices am I making, and why am I choosing to make those choices. And another really, a couple of great tips just on not overeating, or not eating, I guess, like a lot of the food that you know is perhaps not going to make you feel great, is, and you can definitely eat before you go somewhere. So have a really substantial brekkie with really good quality fats, carbs, and protein. That will definitely help to balance your sugar out. So if you start the day with a really good solid brekkie, rather than going, oh, well, I'm going to skip brekkie because I'm just going to eat a heap later on, or I know that I'm going to be eating a heap of food later, it's really stabilizing for your blood sugar. Also, having fats and protein will slow down. If you do happen to eat high sugary foods, it will slow down the sugar in your system, so you're not getting as big of a peak and a trough where you drop into the sugar coma 1 or 2 hours later after eating. So definitely make sure that you're having a decent brekkie, or sometimes like what I will do is definitely eat before an event, so I know that I've got really good nutritious food in my body, and then I might just have a couple of things. A lot of the time, just due to my own food intolerances, I can't actually eat a lot of what's actually provided at an event, so it just makes sure I'm either not ravenously hungry or eating stuff that's really not going to serve my body or help me feel great at the end of the day. I really got tired of just waking up sick and tired. So I made some pretty big decisions health-wise, just to really improve my health, and part of that is obviously not drinking. It just messes with my energy way too much for my liking, and that's okay. That's my personal choice. May not be your choice, and that's completely okay as well. But just hydration, vitamin B will be the couple of things to be able to help you with that as well. So I truly hope that that's been helpful for you guys. If you are after some really great ways of getting healthy, getting well, maybe 2020 is your year for that. I do not believe in setting New Year's resolutions simply because they can be a one-hit wonder where it lasts for a couple of weeks and then we fall off the wagon. What really does work is setting a long-term vision, an outcome for your life in what you want to create. And so for myself, in order to do that, like I just think of myself as a 60-year-old, and I, which may or may not, I'm just thinking in law of attraction there, but I visualize when I am 60, how I'll actually look and feel, and I am a vibrant, active, still riding my bike, still out walking, running. I don't do a lot of running these days, but certainly building a strong foundation of muscle and vitality, strong bones, health, being able to do headstands, splits, ride a unicycle, all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm currently doing some aerial dancing at Zana, which I've done 2 classes so far and just absolutely loved it. So like this is my plan moving forward. I have a really clear vision, and just like to let you guys know, like me turning 60 is like 18 years off. So it's not a short-term plan. Your short-term plan, let me just get fit and healthy, or let me just get out of this pain, or let me just stop feeling like rubbish. It will never serve you long term, because you're never going to be committed to doing the daily consistent habits that actually do help to create a greater foundation of health and maintain that well into longer and longer years, obviously. So create a long-term vision for you. If you are wanting to work on your health and take it to the next level, perhaps you're experiencing some pain or some inflammation, please reach out to me. We have an amazing program called the Juicy Body Transformation Program, and that's also got some whole food supplements with it, which really have made such a difference to my own life. I notice the difference when I don't have it. It's like taking, for me, like a couple of green smoothies a day. I love green smoothies anyway, but just certainly adds to the well-being in my body, floods my body with the nutrients, and because it is actual real food, my body recognizes it, therefore can assimilate it and take it on much quicker and easier as well, which is wonderful. Hey Shan, lovely to have you on here, and hey Cherie, lovely to see you, and Anne-Marie, lovely to see you as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you've just jumped on, perhaps jump back and watch the replay. Have an amazing time over Christmas. It really is a fun time of year where we can bring in so much magic, so much energy, so much joy, and by treating yourself well, by getting sleep when you can, perhaps if you're really one of those late night party animals, will enjoy that and enjoy doing that, and then find a way of mitigating that on the other end. So whether that's having a couple of days out where you just take really good care of your body again, super hydrate, other things that you can do to I guess improve the effects of perhaps eating a couple of wrong foods, or the foods that don't work well for you, getting lemon water in the morning, just a really good detox and flush for the body. And like I said before, just really good hydration. The liver loves lots and lots of green leafy veggies and plant-based kind of foods. So that's a really great way of supporting your body as well. But have an amazing time over the silly season or the fun season, and really enjoy maybe the Christmas shopping and preparing for Christmas and all of the events, because at the end of the day, it's never about what we're actually doing. It's always about who we're being at the time. So you might be creating the most perfect Christmas ever, but if you are so super stressed out, if you're tired beyond tired, if you're exhausted because you're trying to make it so perfect and so beautiful for everybody else, but you're not actually enjoying yourself, then you know, we've really got to look at that and come back to what's really matters. And I think, you know, if our kids feel loved, if our loved ones know that we love them and that we truly appreciate them, then for me personally, that's the biggest gift that I can ever give. So have an amazing day. Loads of love to you all, and if this has been helpful for you, please like, love, or share it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.